I'm Stefan Baumann. I would like to invite you on a special journey to discover the splendor, encounter the grandeur, feel the excitement. Come along with me as we experience the thrill of painting outdoors. A 3-day journey that will change your art forever. In one of America's most stunning locations, Mount Shasta. Everything you need to know is on our website, www.stefanbaumann.com. This morning I was talking to one of my students, and she's the one who actually designs my trips to Europe. And she went out and she did some plein air painting. And she kind of had a little bit of a dissatisfactory result. And so I get this email from her, help! And so I had to kind of talk her down off the cliff this morning. She sent me a picture, and actually what she sent me was really sweet. But she had your typical reaction if you're painting outdoors. There's a certain thing that happens. And so what I'm going to tell you is like the truth behind painting outdoors. This is like the truth behind painting outdoors. You guys are going to get the truth behind it. If you are a person that likes traveling, and likes to spend your time in really beautiful places. If you like going leisurely and enjoying your time as you go. If you like being outdoors in some of the most beautiful places. If you like actually slowing down, waking up early, sitting at sunrise while the sun rises with no one else around you. And you know what they always say? It's always colder before the dawn. So sitting there with clothes on, feeling kind of chilly. And as the dawn breaks, so do the mosquitoes and the flies. And a few minutes later, the tourists. If you're a person that likes their solitude and not to be surrounded by tourists asking you, excuse me ma'am, where's the restroom? Excuse me ma'am, but I can't help watching you paint. My aunt paints. Or she used to before she dropped dead from turpentine poisoning. If you don't like being outdoors, if you don't like being alone, if you don't like bugs, if you don't like traveling by yourself before everybody else gets up, if you don't like standing for 2 hours and not being able to pee, because rarely are there restrooms out there, then maybe you're not really cut out for plein air painting. Now it seems kind of an odd conversation to have, considering plein air painting has become all of a sudden the thing that you're supposed to do. But seriously, 40 years ago, very few people even oil painted. Most of the artists were doing watercolor, and plein air painting wasn't even a thing. In fact, years ago, Plein Air magazine even launched, thinking, oh, well, this is something that people like to do. And guess what? There weren't very many people that were doing it. In fact, that launching of the Plein Air magazine actually had to close again because they didn't have enough. When I was doing my television show in the national parks, and people looked at me going, painting outdoors? Does Rob Ross paint outdoors? Why would you want to go painting outdoors? And in fact, truthfully, a lot of times I ask myself that same question. When I'm standing out in the middle of winter on a snowbank, freezing to death, having to go pee. Actually, what's worse is standing out in the middle of San Francisco in Chinatown. And you paint for a few hours, and all of a sudden, you know, when you get to Chinatown, it's nice and quiet. You know, the world hasn't opened up. But you know, you're about 10 o'clock, it's kind of crazy there. And all of a sudden, you're in the middle of the city, driving a little Honda car. And in Chinatown, there are no restrooms. And all of a sudden, you stop painting, and you go, oh my God. And there's nowhere to go. At least when you're out playing or painting, there's always a tree, at least for men. And a lot of the women that I go on trips with, they actually figure out how to accommodate that urge. But I won't go into detail about that. That's not something that I really know of. So it is not an activity that is necessarily comfortable to do. Not to mention all of the equipment and everything else that you would need. And I get people who go, well, what's your favorite box? What's the favorite thing that you want? How do you know, what do I need? And the thing is, it's all so personal. The whole thing is so personal. I mean, half the things that I'm going to be doing in Santa Fe with people is that I'm going to look at what they brought and I'm going to go, what were you thinking? You know, here you spend $1,000 to be part of a group of painters. Because I know I've done this before. But they're staying in a motel for another $1,000. I mean, they could be in it for $5,000, and they'll come out, and I'm not kidding, with a cigar box and a bunch of bungee cords. And I'm like going, you can't do that. Half the thing is you have to be equipped for that. You have to have a prashad box. If you don't have a prashad box and you don't know what a prashad box is, maybe you shouldn't be painting outdoors. But you want to be sure that you have all of the things that you'd be comfortable with. And the only way you know what you need is that you have to go out there and really have a lot of horrible experiences. You do. You learn what you need, and everybody is different. And so my student this morning, she said, you know, I have a problem with glare. And she says, I can't stand looking at bright light like that. And I said, well, you probably shouldn't be out plein air painting if that's a problem with you. And she says, what about wearing sunglasses? Now, it's really funny. Sometimes I have students that come in into my classroom, and they're wearing sunglasses. And they'll be there painting for an hour, and I go, are those prescription glasses? Is that why you're wearing? And they go, oh my God, I have my sunglasses on. Right? The thing is, though, if you're painting with sunglasses on, you'd be surprised that your painting will at least be consistent. It will be sunglasses, but you know, when you look through your sunglasses for a while, everything looks normal. That's kind of what happens when you're using sunglasses in your painting. So your paintings takes on a new, different normal. Of course, somebody who doesn't have sunglasses doesn't see the same normal, but if you just show somebody this, they will actually see the same thing you're seeing. Okay, so you can paint with sunglasses on. Painting underneath a heavy umbrella for some people is a thing. For some people it's not. I highly recommend it. Having bug spray for some, enough for others. And it's surprising, some people are really bugged by bugs, and some people don't even notice them. The only thing I ever draw when I go out is flies. So anyway, so I'm going to be spending most of my time kind of setting up easels and helping people, because a lot of people who go to the plein air convention are not artists. It's for the first time they think this is really cool and they're going to be there and they're going to paint and it's going to be really awesome. But I'm there to help them through that along with about 40 other teachers. So it's kind of a fun experience, so if you can go. But I will not be here next week for that. So if you like to take your painting to the next level, regardless at whatever level you are, please feel free to contact me at 415-606-8255. 9074. Join us on our website, thegrandview.org, and get more information about our show. There you can download our free book, Everything You Need to Know About Outdoor Painting, along with a free diagram of today's subject.